Thank you for joining me live from the grooming table. I am Amy Leigh, certified professional pet groomer since 2003. But you know it is absolutely my pleasure to share with you the secrets of the pet grooming industry so you can provide the same level of quality care to your beloved pets at home as I provide to the pets I groom in my professional grooming salon. Welcome to Go Groomer, guys. It is so awesome that you're here. What we have created here on this community is amazing. We have a community of pet professionals, of pet owners, home groomers, people who come from all over the world who are here to share secrets and learn valuable knowledge about pet grooming, products, tools, equipment, where to get them. It's essential that we have what we have right here, guys. Go Groomer on YouTube. And I am so thankful that you are all part of this because it is amazing. So pat yourselves on the back. And I'm so glad that you joined me tonight because we have a great topic. I think I'm going to answer a lot of people's questions tonight about grooming. I think I can sum a lot of things up in my little demonstration here tonight that I'm going to give to you. Well, I don't have a demonstration. I'm going to talk to you. I do have a few things to throw up on the screen that are going to be pretty interesting. So just wait for that. What is the topic? Tonight's topic is before committing to grooming your own dog, do this. Do what? I'm going to tell you. Before committing to grooming your own dog, you must follow this advice. So listen up, guys. Perk your ears. As I run through these things, I want you to focus on putting great importance on these key factors and ask yourself if you will absolutely commit to learning and implementing them in your grooming sessions. What I'm going to share with you tonight, guys, if you implement this into your grooming sessions, you will have success. These are some good secrets, really good secrets. The first thing that you need in place is this. You must create a safe, comfortable, well-lit space in your home to groom your dog. This is very important. Lighting is essential. Something we often don't think about, right? What's the lighting like in the room where I'm grooming my dog? I'm telling you, it's very important. You must be able to see what you're doing to avoid accidentally injuring your dog with grooming tools. Even a brush can injure a dog if you're brushing too hard and you cannot see too well. You cannot see that the skin is becoming red or irritated. Quickly you can cause brush burn. Even just with a brush, guys, lighting is so important. Let me show you some. You know, I told you I'd be throwing stuff up on screen. Here, let's check this out. All right, if the lighting in your grooming room is lacking, if it's there, you're seeing a lot of shadows, okay, this can really obstruct what you're doing, your ability to really see what you're doing. So if the lighting is lacking, consider purchasing some of these affordable options to illuminate your grooming sessions. Guys, I'm telling you, we don't often think about lighting, but it's important. And I'm going to link these. They are linked in the description below of this video. So you would be amazed if you're having trouble with lighting. If you add a couple of these puppies, and they're affordable, into your grooming area where you groom your dog, you'll be amazed at the difference that good lighting can offer you when you're grooming. It's simple. It's one of those simple things that we don't think about so often, right? So the first thing that you need to do if you're going to groom your dog yourself is make sure that the area you're grooming in is very well lit. And if you don't have good lighting in your if it's in a basement or if it's in a garage or if it's in a spare room, you can add lighting, guys. Light it up. I'm telling you, big difference. All right, and along on this same little subject that I'm talking about here is creating a good space for you and your pet, creating a safe, comfortable space to groom your dog for both you and your pet. It's very important. It's important that you're comfortable too, and that you're not stepping around on junk because you've shoved the grooming table over into the corner of a room that's like full of junk. No, give yourself space. Make this comfortable for you and your pet. Make it welcoming for you to want to be there because it changes your mood. It changes your vibe. You know, put on some nice music if you'd like to. It's a good idea to elevate your mood as best you can when you're grooming your dog, but definitely make sure that you've created a comfortable space for both you and your dog. You must have a dog grooming table, guys. You know I say this all the time. I do, I say it all the time, but it's true. You must have a dog grooming table with a grooming arm that you can hook a lead onto. You have to be able to safely secure your dog for grooming. It's important. There's many reasons. A grooming table also elevates the dog so that you can work more easily. It's for you too, guys. And if you can't afford a hydraulic table or electric table, because say you're only grooming your own dog, please buy a portable table. They make portable dog grooming tables. Let me show you something. I got something else to show you here. Throw this up on screen. This dog is safely secured on the grooming table. You'll notice the grooming arm, the table, the groomer helper loop, and you'll notice a grooming arm hitch. Very important. Having your dog secured on the grooming table also helps your pet understand that you want them in that space. And it encourages the dog to behave for you. Very important. It takes away some of their stress when they're safely secured on the table. This is very important if you're going to groom your dog yourself. It would be best if you had a grooming arm with a groomer's helper grooming loop to keep them on the table and safe from jumping off, because sometimes they get a little crazy. They get a little adventurous, shall we say. We don't want them to jump off the table for many reasons. They could hurt themselves. But then it just creates this thing where they're constantly trying to get off the table. You want them secured on the table. That tells the dog something. I'm safe up here. I'm safely secured. It's very important for their mindset. And be sure to use a grooming arm hitch, just as I showed you in that little video demo thing. Use a grooming arm hitch that hitches to the groomer's helper to the grooming arm so the dog can't do this. You want to keep the dog close to the grooming arm, and they, you know, it keeps them from spinning around. It keeps them from jumping off the table. It encourages better behavior. If your dog is resistant to grooming, to any part of grooming, the grooming process, safely harnessing your dog as shown in that little demo will often be the missing link to give good behavior from your dog to you on the grooming table. If your dog isn't properly harnessed, it can be the missing link of why you're having issues with your dog's behavior on the table. They need to feel secure. It's very important. So I linked a couple of grooming tables in the description below. You'll see a lot of links as usual. Scroll through them. A couple of grooming tables. We got some electric ones, hydraulic and portable. A grooming arm, a grooming loop, the groomer's helper, a grooming arm hitch. They're all linked in the description for you. They are absolutely essential when grooming a dog safely and successfully. So that's the first step to getting successfully grooming your dog yourself. Things you must ask yourself and be willing to commit to before you say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be my dog's groomer. Then you have to do all these things that I'm telling you today. You just got to. Trust me, I wouldn't lead you astray, I promise. The second thing I want you to commit to is, can you provide any and all required dog grooming methods to groom your dog? Can you provide that? Are you physically and mentally capable of grooming your dog? Because if you're not, you're setting yourself up for failure, and it's going to be discouraging to you. So I want you to ask yourself these questions. Am I physically and mentally capable of grooming my dog? When I say mentally, I mean, are you able to communicate properly with your dog on the table and not let your dog run the show? You have to run the show. Not in a cruel way, just you're the leader in this grooming session, and your dog needs to know it. And grooming large dogs, if you have a large dog, you really need to ask yourself if you're physically strong enough to groom this dog. It is a lot of work. It's not that it can't be done, but I want you to ask yourself these things before you commit to buying tools, spending money, purchasing any of my helpful dog grooming options on my Go Groomer Learning Center. You know, I want you to ask yourself these questions. I want you to save the money if you can't commit to what I'm telling you here tonight, okay? And when I say, can you provide any and all required dog grooming methods? I mean, are you willing to commit to the job the same as a professional groomer is? You are taking on the grooming needs. It needs to be done like a professional would. Now, when I say like a professional, I don't mean it needs to look exactly like Amy's work. Well, you'll get there, because I don't know if you've been grooming for 20 years, but 20 years ago when I groomed, my grooms didn't look like they do today. They look better today. But the methods were all the same. It was all there. I had the knowledge. I just had to hone my skills. And you will hone your skills. You'll get there. Trust me. Every groom is an experience, and take something from every groom. Look at your dogs when you're done, when they're walking around or playing in the yard, and say, oh wow, I really left way too much hair on, you know, on the underbelly of my dog. He looks short now, or whatever. Just pick your work apart. That's not, you'll always improve, guys, with every groom, but what I want you to ask yourself before you commit to doing it is, can you provide any and all required dog grooming methods? Can you do that? Are you willing to commit to that? And no shortcuts, no skipping steps. I didn't feel like bathing my dog. That's part of the groom. Do you hear me? It's part of the groom. If you can't commit to the whole grooming session as a professional would, then you should probably consider not being your dog's groomer, because then you may have skin problems. You can't skip vital parts of the groom. You can't. Just to say, I gave the dog a haircut. The skin and coat care is very important. Skin care is very important. The bathing, brushing, drying, conditioning is so important. You can't skip it. It's part of the groom. So are you able to commit to all this? If so, then we can move on. Okay. So this is a good idea here, and I helped you guys out with this. So you need to create, if you're going to commit to being your dog's groomer, you need to create a schedule for your dog consisting of daily, bi-weekly, or weekly brush outs, bathing between full haircuts every 2 to 3 weeks, bathing and conditioning, brushing, drying. You need to commit to this and make a schedule, because this is now your dog's schedule. You made it. You're your dog's groomer. You need the schedule. But I got you covered on that. So yeah, you want to be bathing, brushing, drying in between about every 2 to 3 weeks, depending on the length of your dog's coat and their lifestyle. If they get really dirty, they may need bathed more than every 2 weeks, and that's okay if you're doing it right and you're using safe products and properly rinsing them from the coat. It's fine. You can bathe your dog every week if you do that. Now, and of course, in our grooming schedule that you need to create, because now you're going to be the dog's groomer, you need to keep at least about a 6-week schedule for full grooms, for the full haircut, guys. Then that's the whole deal. That's the nails, the bath, the dry, the brushing, and the haircut. But you can have this all on a schedule. If you're not willing to do this, then you're not willing to commit to becoming your dog's groomer and caring for their grooming needs, your dog's complete grooming needs. You have to care for their grooming needs if you're going to commit. And I know you want to. So just take my advice, guys. You can do it, but you have to follow my advice here. So many people allow their dog to become matted or wear an unkept coat before they even consider addressing the grooming needs. That's not, we're not talking about that. We're talking about you're committing to being your dog's groomer. So we're not going to let our dogs get in those conditions before we address their grooming needs, because you're now the professional. You're now your dog's groomer, and you're going to take care of it. If you don't maintain a reasonable grooming schedule with your dog and put off grooming sessions, it will not set you up for successful sessions when you are attempting to groom the dog that's in desperate need of grooming. You're not setting yourself up for success. Most pet owners or people who are new to grooming, they're not skilled enough to groom a dog in that condition, and it's going to fail. You're going to fail to complete the job when you attempt it, and you're going to be disappointed, and you're going to hesitate to get back up on the horse. So don't set yourself up for failure. keep your dog on a schedule. Make a schedule. I want you to have success if you plan to be your dog's groomer. So I created something for you. It's free. Would you like it? It's fun. I created a free dog grooming schedule for you to download and print out. Okay, let me show you. I have a picture. That one, this one. So this is what I created for you guys. If you want to download it, it is free. And what it is you're going to create your dog's own grooming schedule for the next 6 weeks. It's customizable to your dog's grooming needs, and it will help you maintain the dog grooming requirements for your pet, because you're going to write it on there. You're going to write on there, you know, on June 1st is brush out. On June 4th is brush out. On June 12th is bath condition, dry, and brush out. You can do nails anywhere in here too. You don't have to save nails for the day that you actually do a full groom. But you can write it all on here, guys. Write it all on here. You'll print out several copies of these and keep it for each month. The things that you're doing with your dog to keep them maintained and well groomed, just like a professional, right? Now you have some new tools, just like a professional. You have your own little schedule for your dog. So feel free to download that. I made it for you. Only just the other day I thought about it and I thought I should just make them a schedule. I should make them a schedule, then they have it. It's for them. It's for them to groom their dogs. It's linked in the description below. It is free to you, all of you. So please take advantage of this gift from me to you, because I made it for you and I want you to have it. All right, but right now stay here. Okay, here's the next key factor I want you to ask yourself before attempting to groom your own dog. Have you obtained the basic dog grooming knowledge that you need to groom your pet safely? So important, so important. Without the knowledge, it's really not safe to groom dogs. And you don't need the knowledge of a 20-year groomer, but you do need basic dog grooming knowledge if you're going to use tools on your dog. I can't stress the importance of this enough. If you do not have basic dog grooming knowledge and a clear understanding of dog grooming tools, products, equipment, methods, all that, how to use them, if you don't have a clear understanding of that, you're not setting yourself up to have successful dog grooming sessions. And I want you to, remember? Dog grooming tools such as clippers, guard comb attachments, shears, they're not magic. If you purchase a beautiful $300 clipper, that doesn't mean your grooms are going to look beautiful. You need the knowledge. Must have it. That kind of hurt. So the tools aren't magic. You have to be comfortable using them, and you have to understand how they operate. You really do. I have an online dog grooming course for the very beginner. So if you're serious about being your dog's groomer, you might want to purchase that course. Specifically the person who has no understanding of dog grooming and is seeking the knowledge needed to groom their dog at home. That's what I created this course for. The person who knows very little to nothing about dog grooming. And you will find it on my Go Groomer Learning Center. It's linked below. You should also sign up for my weekly newsletter, guys, if you haven't already. It's freaking amazing. I enjoy reading it when I get it. So if you visit my Go Groomer Learning Center, it's linked below, you will find many options other than my course. There are other options to help you learn basic dog grooming and transform your struggles when grooming dogs. So please, 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 please value the advice that I am going to be. If you're going to be your dog's groomer, you have to really value this advice, guys. Get the basic training that you need to safely and successfully groom your pet. Without it, you cannot succeed. You cannot. Without the basic dog grooming knowledge that you need, you can't succeed. It's going to be stressful. It shouldn't be scheduled. I don't want grooming to be stressful for you guys. It shouldn't be. So if you come to the grooming table prepared with some knowledge, the right tools, your dog is safely secured on the table, You got a nice well-lit area to groom them in. If you come to the grooming table like that, you are going to succeed. You will. And I want you to. I keep saying that because I do. So this leads us directly to the next key factor. We're going from, hey, do you have the basic knowledge to groom a dog before you would attempt it? Now what? Will you purchase professional dog grooming tools and equipment to groom your dog successfully? I need you to ask yourself that. I get a lot of emails, people saying, that clipper is $200. Can you find me a clipper that's $50? No, I can't. If there was a good clipper for $50, every professional groomer would be using it. Do you think we like spending $300 on clippers? No. If we could save the money and do the same, produce the same work, we would. But you can't. You've got to have professional dog grooming tools because they are made to groom dogs, not just to sit on a Walmart shelf and look pretty in a box and you get it home and it's worthless. Worthless, a waste of money. You have to ask yourself, are you willing to purchase professional dog grooming tools and equipment to groom your dog? This is a question that I want you to ask yourself and be willing to spend the money to purchase the same tools that professional pet groomers use. Are you willing to do that? If you are willing to purchase the same tools and spend the money that professional pet groomers use, then I think you're ready to commit. You have to have all these things, guys. If you're not willing to spend the money on the appropriate, capable tools, then please do not consider grooming your dog yourself because it's really, truly not even safe at that point. Some tools are just so pathetic and they're not safe. Professional dog grooming tools were made to groom dogs, and that is the safest thing. Here's another thing. What are the minimal necessary tools that you need? I don't want you guys to go buy everything because it's there or because you see me use it in a video. You may not need everything to groom your dog at home yourself safely and professionally. You may not need everything, but there are minimal necessary tools that you do need for grooming your dog. And I did make a great video showing you exactly those tools that you must purchase to groom a dog, and it's linked in the description below. It's a really good one, but it shows you, I think there is 6 that you need to have, really. All the tools and products are linked in that video's description if you go watch it later, and I do encourage you to watch it before you purchase any dog grooming tools at all. Please watch that video that's linked in the description. And I wanted to show you again this one. See, this dog is safely secured on the table. It's so important to have a grooming table, guys. You can't skip it. You just have to have a grooming table and the items mentioned earlier, which are the loop and the grooming hitch. You need those to safely secure your dog on the grooming table and have successful grooming sessions. This is very valuable advice, guys, and I want you to succeed. If you do the things that I shared with you here tonight, what I'm sharing in this video, you will have successful dog grooming sessions. And your dog's grooming needs, they will always be met. I promise you. That's the idea, that the dog's grooming needs are always met and that you're armed with the knowledge and the know-how and the tools to get it done safely. And it's going to turn into be a hobby for you because people start grooming their dogs and they absolutely love it. And so do the dogs. It is a bonding experience for the dog and the pet owner. You will have this experience with your pet if you groom them, especially if you come to the table with confidence because you've armed yourself with the knowledge and the know-how to do this job appropriately and safely. Okay? Now it's time for your questions. If anybody has a question, hold a line in front of your question like SVCC Toy Schnauzers just did. Perfect. Thank you, Sean. Sean says, Amy, when will your scissors be available again? Oh boy, are they sold out? They do sell out quick. I know they do. They make them and then they're sold out, and then they make them and then they're sold out. And it is a cycle. They will replenish them. They're made by Kenchi. They're wonderful shears. She says, I have a set, but I want to buy another one because they're so great. Well, thank you, Sean. And I'm so happy that you do love my shears. I do too. And I know you have a set of my shears because I groomed with you at your place, and you have a perfect setup to groom your dogs. You know the importance of this. And I love it. I love it. So Sean, they will be back in stock real soon. It takes them a little time when they're out of stock. They might still have, like, I know that blending shear sells out a lot, and it is fantastic. I love my blender. It's a soft blender. But often they'll still, like, if you didn't want to buy the whole set, oftentimes they'll still have the straight or the curved. You know, I don't know if you want to buy another whole set or if you just wanted to have a spare straight or a spare curve. They may have those in stock. But sometimes the whole sets sell out because it saves you a little money if you buy the whole set, definitely. So I'm scrolling through here looking for questions, guys. If you hold the dash bar and then type your question, I'll see it and I can get you an answer. I see we're coming from all over the place, guys, and I'm so happy to see you. Thank you for coming. I am so happy to see you all. I did see a question here. Somehow I just scrolled really fast, but let me get to it. My eyes aren't as good as they used to be either, guys. Thank you, Court Jester. Court Jester is showing you how to put that line in front of the Janelle. Thank you, guys. See, we have wonderful people helping us right here in the chat. Aren't they awesome? I love my moderators. Janelle, Court Jester, you help us very much. Thank you for that. You help me. Amanda G has a question. Says, hi from Indiana. Amanda, I'm from Indiana too. I live in Pennsylvania now, but I'm from Indiana. Says, looking for some suggestions for grooming a senior newfie, 135 pounds, with a CCL tear. Wow. Oh boy. And a laxating patella. So we've got some knee issues, some joint problems too. Standing just isn't much of an option for our guy. All right, Amanda, this is what I'm going to tell you. I will tell you right now that the Newfoundland is probably the heaviest dog I've ever groomed. Now, I didn't say largest, did I? I've groomed some Leonbergers that were bigger than the Newfoundlands that I groomed, but the Newfoundlands were heavier. They weighed more. A Newfie is a solid little brick. They're a big dog. They are a big dog. So because they're heavy, I can't assist them much. That's for sure. Now, what I want to tell you about that is it's always good to have somebody helping you with a dog that large, because especially a dog that large that has trouble standing. So first of all, have a helper, Amanda. Have somebody with you. If it's one of your kids that's capable, or a friend, or your spouse, or whomever, have somebody commit to helping you with this senior newfie, because this is hard on them. So here you go. What I would do for a senior newfie is I would try to do as much of the work for the dog on the floor. And Newfoundlands are so good to work with. They're just like, oh, yeah, they're not going to try to get away from you. You know, any other dog you try to groom on the floor, they'll be like, I'm out of here. You know, I'm free. But a newfie, no. They'll say, oh, you want me here? Okay, I'll sit here. You know, they're really good. So with bathing and conditioning is so important for that newfie coat, because it is such a thick, dense undercoat, and it really does need to be cleaned regularly, at least about every 8 weeks. I wouldn't put it off anymore, the bath and the condition and a blow dry. Wouldn't put it off more than 8 weeks. So what you can do, because, well, you going to get them in your bathtub? No, probably not. If you have a stand-up shower stall or anything like that, and you can hook something up to the plumbing, you're going to have to do that, because you need a good rinse station for that thick coat. And let the dog lay on the shower floor. Let him lay there. Everything's contained in the shower. let him lay there. Definitely got to hook up something with your plumbing. You need good plumbing. You have to rinse that coat thoroughly, and you have to clean it thoroughly. So I would say that, let him lay down in the shower. You're going to want to towel them off as much as possible. Their coat is much like a sponge. It holds so much water, and you don't want to spend 3 hours drying this dog, and the dog doesn't want to spend that time either because he's a senior dog and he's tired. So what I would do then is I would bring him out of the shower, or you can do this in the shower. You're just going to have a lot of hair there. Definitely use the absorber towels to absorb as much water out of the coat as possible everywhere before you even attempt to force dry. Like I said, the coat is like a sponge. That coat holds a lot of water. So use your absorber towels. They're much better than cotton towels for drying a heavy coat like that. If you don't have absorber towels, guys, they're linked in the description below, and I can save you 10%. It's down there. It's in the description. Go check it out. So they are very helpful, but you're going to have to do most of that work, Amanda, on the floor because that's what's safest for the dog. And it may be uncomfortable for you, so what I suggest is that you definitely put some mats down for you to sit on. I don't want you sitting on concrete or sitting on a very, very hard floor because you're going to be there for a while. Put something down to make it comfortable for you too, and the dog, absolutely. Yoga mats, anything to absorb some shock. Yoga mats are cheap. Any type of foamy mat, you know, that you can get, it's cheapest. It doesn't have to be fancy. You're just trying to absorb some of the shock factor between the hard floor and you and the dog and the hard floor. So I'd say that's my best suggestion, honey. There's no other magic trick for a dog that's 135 pounds and has pain in their knees and their legs and it's hard to stand. There's no magic trick. That's the best advice I can give you on that. I'm looking for any other questions here. I see we got a super chat. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. Who is that from? It doesn't tell me the name. Why doesn't it tell me the name? Oh, that's weird. You know, YouTube keeps changing things. Okay. Well, anyway, whoever did that's getting so saluted. Thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it. I mean, a little bit of this and a little bit of that. That's right. It's what it takes to groom them. That's what it takes. Thank you so much. I appreciate your super chat. All right. I wish I could see your name. I want to shout you out. I don't know what's going on with YouTube sometimes. They keep changing our platform a little bit. It's great, but it changes up a little bit. Jeffrey Underwood has a question, and I see the hands raising. I like the hands raising. Says, I was looking at the jelly loop tether for the grooming arm. Okay, the tether for the grooming arm. Got you. Does it slip up and down the pole, or does it grip? Nope, it grips. You have to pull it tight, and it has a clamp. So when you pull it tight in the clamp, then when you let go, the clamp holds it where you want it. Because remember, we want the grooming loop that's around their neck, we want the hitch to be pulling down away from the trachea, not straight in front of them, because it's still kind of pulling up, right? It needs to be harnessed, fixed. It needs to be fixed to the grooming arm at an angle down, so it pulls away from the trachea. And I will say this, since you mentioned the Jelly Pet loop, to my knowledge, the Jelly Pet loop that goes on the grooming arm, they do not make one with a fixed O-ring. Their ring slides. I don't like anything that will slide when we have our dog secondly hitched to that grooming arm extender hitch. I want something that's sticking, it's there, it's not going to move, like the Groomer's Helper or the Alpha Dog loops. Now Alpha Dog has loops that have free floating rings, and they also have loops that have the solid stitched into the tether, and it won't move. That's the important thing. It has to stay here so it doesn't slide up here and start, you know, when your dog's moving around, it could be a problem. So yeah, it stays really nice, Jeffrey. I'll tell you, I've been plugging that one a lot lately because when I picked it up from Hershey, I was like, this is great. My audience is going to love this, and it's affordable. And so it's a win-win. So definitely. Candace Clark says, I am in grooming school. Congratulations. And grooming rescue pups in grooming school, you're grooming rescue pups. So they're nervous and they're hard to clip the paw hairs and the nails, and they pull their legs away. Okay, so you're looking at some advice. Well, I like to share space. Now be careful, you're talking rescue dogs. You don't know these dogs too well, right? So I don't want to lose my spot here. You don't know these dogs. You don't want to be in their face, but you want to share space with them. Keep a hand on them at all times. They feel that you're here with them. It's a little bit of assurance for them. Instead of it feeling like you're working on them, you're working with them. Stay close to them. Keep that other hand on them at all times. And just talk real nice and calm. And remember, these are rescue pups. They're really probably not very familiar with dog grooming. So, don't forget that. So they're learning to accept it. It's not normal, never been a part of their life. Not normal for them. They don't know what it is. They don't know what the tools are. So I'd say, just work with them calmly, quietly, keep a hand on them, share the space with them, lean into them. Sometimes I'll lean against a dog and let them touch me. They know I'm right. You're not alone here. I'm here with you. We're doing this. It just seems to add a little comfort to dogs. Jenny Sutherland is super chatting too. Blessed here, sharing the web. Oh, you are so getting saluted, Jenny. Jenny, you are another one that has created a fantastic space for you to groom your dogs in. It is top-notch, girlfriend. So you see, guys, it can be done. So many people in this chat have created a perfect place for them to groom, and they're not a professional groomer. That's what you need. You need that space. It has to be set up for you and your pet. It is the first thing, and well lit. It has to be. That's what's going to set you up for success. Kathleen says, Amy, what's the difference between using thinners as opposed to using chunkers? Well, thinners is just a word for a blending shear or thinning shear. The difference in chunkers and thinners is the amount of teeth on the shear. I can't reach it. The amount of teeth on the shear and the space between the teeth. On a chunker, there's a lot of space between the teeth, right? That's going to remove a lot of hair. It's okay if you want to, but some people like a soft blend, like my blending shear. It's a 52 tooth. It's got a lot of teeth and they're really close together. That means it's going to blend very subtly. It's not going to remove a lot of hair when you're blending. It just produces a smoother look. So the more teeth closer together, there are different sizes of blending shears too, guys. So this can get a little confusing. There's like 5.5, 6.5, 7.5 inch blending shears. Mine are 7.5. Look at the spacing on the teeth. That's what's going to tell you it's not going to remove a lot of hair. If the spacing of the teeth are real close together, it's not going to remove a lot of hair. It's a safe blender for you, especially as a beginner. A chunker shear is going to remove a lot, and you may, if you don't use it properly, it's going to look choppy. So you might want to, not go for the chunker shear until you're very comfortable and confident with your grooming. But that's the difference, honey. It's the space between the teeth. The space between the teeth. That's the difference between a chunker and a blender. There's a lot of space between the teeth on a chunker. And Candace Clark says, hi. Hi, Candace. Says, I have a 6-pound Chi, so a Chihuahua, to groom with collapsing trachea. What's the best way to safely secure her on the table? Good question. I'm going to try to not rip my mic off and reach something back here. Okay. Normally, when we harness a dog on the grooming table, this is the alpha dog lead, guys. See how I said this is fixed? It can't slide around up here. It's sewn on there. Okay? Now, trachea issues. So here's the dog. Instead of putting this under their neck, under their trachea, pull their front arm through it. Okay? Pull the front arm through it and just loop this so this is coming right across their chest. That's it. And around under their armpits. That's how you want this loop. I wish I could show you. Gosh darn it. I don't have a dog in here. I hope that makes sense. So instead of it being around the neck, pull their front arm through there. Okay? Now it's going to be crisscrossed around their body and bring it under the armpits. And then they're still safely, and then you can adjust it so that there's not a lot of slack. Okay? And then they are safely secured. Absolutely safely secured. And I do that a lot for older dogs. As older dogs age, they definitely get, everything is more delicate on an older dog. And puppies, that's how I harness a puppy. Absolutely. So I guess I never showed you guys that in a video. I need to show you that, and I will. So I'm so glad that you asked the question, Candace, and I hope that helped. And I hope it makes sense. So Lois says, Amy, I've been watching you for about a year. Before I take on being a full-time groomer for my Shih Tzu, I'm planning tidy up between grooms. Think I'm ready to go. I think that's the perfect place to start. Instead of saying, okay, I'm going to buy everything, I'm going to set everything up, and I'm going to groom my dog every 6 weeks. And then you're going, I'm a little stressed out. I don't know if I want to do that. You're starting at the perfect place, Lois. You are going to do sanitary and brushing and bathing and conditioning and drying, working with the coat before you even attempt to say, now I'm ready for the next step. Now I'm ready to tackle that groom. I think that's perfect. So kudos to you for doing that, because I really feel like taking things in steps like that, getting really good at this before you attempt that is a good idea. And you're still taking them to regular trips to their groomer. So this is perfect. Your dog's grooming needs are met, and you're learning a lot by maintaining them in between. And you're going to continue to learn to the point where you'll say, you know what, I might be ready to try to groom my dog now. And that's good. It's a good starting spot. I'm so happy to hear that. I just jumped around here. Jeffrey has another question. I was looking at the jelly loop tether for the grooming arm. Oh, I already answered that. I'm sorry. Got it. Oh, Amanda, you're welcome. No problem. Court Jester has a question. Court Jester says, do you know the Muffin Man? Do you know the Muffin Man? The Muffin Man, the Muffin. I don't know where it's from, but I remember that from being a kid. Do I know the Muffin Man? Just kidding. How are you doing? I hope you know how amazing you are. Thank you for what you do for us. Court Jester, I'm not amazing. I'm just hanging out with my friends, sharing all my secrets, telling secrets. I love it when you guys are here. Thank you for being so supportive. Court Jester, you're always here. And you're doing amazing things. As I understand, Court Jester is getting ready to take on the Science of the Skin from Yves Saint Bernard. It's going to be a fun ride. I want to tell you, you're going to learn so much. It's fun. Everything you learn in that course is amazing. Amazing. So, thank you, Court Jester. Kathleen says, Amy, I just sent you a question further up. Okay, got that one, honey. Got you. I did see the question this time. Thank goodness. Candace says, how do I secure a small chi with a collapsing trachea? Okay, I got that one too. Thank you. Love your advice. You're very welcome. I hope that helped you understand how I harness a small dog with a collapsing trachea. So instead of the loop coming here, you want it coming across the body under both the arms and coming, it's now over its shoulder blades. That's how you're going to harness them with a loop. Okay? It's safe. And guys, you can do that with any dog. Any dog. It just doesn't have to be a dog with a delicate or collapsing trachea. You can harness your dog like that as long as it's safe. Now, you will have some trouble with the grooming hitch, but you could still use it. You could. But yeah, you could still use the grooming hitch and it would be okay. Jeffrey said, I just got some Kenchi blending shears and pretty much right out of the box they catch on one of the teeth. Okay, I'm glad you mentioned it, Jeffrey. Good, glad you mentioned it. Did I do something wrong? 5-pound Yorkie, silky hair. If you noticed right away, and I have noticed, guys, this happens to all of us. Sometimes we get a pair of shears, brand new, and if you feel a blending shear catching a tooth, you're going to ruin the shear if you keep operating it. If you just got this, Jeffrey, you call Kenchi. If they're Kenchi stands behind their stuff. I don't know where you bought it from. Most shear manufacturers will stand behind their stuff. Probably nothing on Amazon, so I hope you didn't get it there. But if the teeth are catching, it's going to ruin the shears and they're not properly working. You need to reach out to them. Kenchi has a 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee or an exchange. So you would call Kenchi if it's a Kenchi shear and say, look, these teeth are catching on my blender, and how do you want me to proceed? And they'll walk you right through the process. But I'm glad you mentioned it, because now I get to share that with everybody, because I'm sure you guys have had this happen. I know it's happened to me right out of the box, brand new shear. I'm like, oh, that's not good. And if you keep working it, you're crunching down those teeth. You're just messing up your shears, so you don't want to do that. So I'm glad you asked the question. Thank you. And I hope I answered it and helped you out too. Candace says, yes, it makes sense. Can I hook the cross hitch to a thing? Yeah, I believe you'll be just fine with that, Candace, especially you're talking about a very tiny dog. So yeah, I think it'll be just fine. Jamie says, hi, Jamie. I got another standard Pooty baby. That's almost like a tongue twister. I got a standard poodle puppy. Anyway, I got a new standard poodle puppy, Ellie Mae. She's 4 months old. Oh, I bet she's awesome. And she won't let me clean her feet, and she won't let me do clean feet. She don't bite. She's sweet. She wiggles more than Sadie Grace was. Okay. She's 4 months old. She's supposed to wiggle. She doesn't know about this stuff yet. So safely securing her on the table is a great idea. Kind of calms down the brain a little bit. Lets her know she's safe. You're right there with her. You definitely don't encourage wiggly behavior. Like, oh, hold still, okay, good girl. No, she's not a good girl if she's doing that. Be gentle. Maybe you're not being gentle enough. Remember, a puppy at 4 months old, you're going to train those poodle feet, the skin, you're going to train the skin to tolerate a close clip. That's a close clip. You're probably doing a 15 blade. I would do a 10 blade on a puppy's feet because their skin is still so tender. You'll work up to a 15 blade, maybe a 30 blade after she's over a year old or something, because you've shaved her feet so much the skin is toughened up to it. But go for the 10 blade. Maybe it's the size blade you're using. Maybe that's what it is. It can be very irritating to the skin. So just keep working with her. She's 4 months old. She's not going to like it. She's not supposed to like it yet. She's learning. She's learning what grooming is, and you're teaching her. So be patient and be kind to her, because you want this impression of grooming to be a good thing, from here on out moving forward. So always make sure it's nice and calm and everything's good. Susie says, I have that question also, Pamela. Pamela has a question. I have problems with guard combs. Which ones that fit on which clipper? I have so many videos on that. Thank you so much. I could sit here and take 20 minutes and tell you which guard combs fit on each clipper, but I have already covered that in videos. I have many videos on my channel. If you're using a 5-in-1 clipper, like the Flash 5, you can only use blades for a 5-in-1, or guard combs for a 5-in-1. Even the Wall Brevera will work, those blades. If you're using an A5 blade, you have to use standard A5 blades. Guard combs, wide blades, they only make them for A5 clippers. So that's only for your A5. You can't use a wide blade on your Kenchi Flash 5. Now, however, the only exception, this Piranha, if any of you have the Piranha, the guard combs for our Wall KM10, Raptor, our A5 clippers are the ones that work on the Piranha. Okay, because this is a hybrid clipper. It's mimicking a regular standard clipping blade. But it isn't quite, because you can see it is not the same as a regular clipper blade. It's still got the plastic little stuff in there. It's a nice clipper though, but it is not the same, but it mimics the A5 blades. But I have videos and charts and stuff that explain all that, and I can't really get into all of that now, but I think I just sort of narrowed it down a little bit for you. I hope so, Susie. You definitely have to do your homework to know if you're getting the right tools and blades for your clipper. You have to know that. Jenny Sutherland says, have you used the Yves Saint Bernard Red for sensitive skin? Yes, I do have that, and the conditioner, and it's nice, very nice. I don't think there's any of the Yves Saint Bernard products that I have that I wasn't totally impressed with. But it is nice and hydrating. It's well balancing. That's nourishing. That's what you want. I really like the Caviar too. That's a super good one. But yes, the red is good. In fact, I have it sitting right over there. I just had it out for, I think it was Little Gus. It is wonderful. And yes, the Yves Saint Bernard products are more expensive, guys, so please don't waste them. Follow the dilutions. Don't overmix your shampoos that you're throwing a lot away when you mix it in your mixing bottle. But boy, are they worth it. Jamie has another question. What chunkers do you use to get rid of a lot of poodle hair? Sadie has a lot of poodle. Sadie has too much pet clip on her. Okay. What I do use chunker shears over even Big Gus. He's kind of poodly. He's my doodle, but his coat is very poodly. On standard poodles, a heavy curly coat, I love chunker shears to smooth down all my guard comb work. So sometimes you know it leaves a little bit of lines and stuff, and the chunker shears is what I use. And I use 2 chunker shears. One is more pricey. It's the Kenchi Peacock. I absolutely love it. And the second one is the Kenchi Love 17 tooth chunker shear. That's a great one. The Peacock is more comfortable, but the Love is fine. It's 99 bucks, and it does a great job. So those are my 2 chunker shears. I don't have any other chunker shears. I do have one more. I have a curved Zolita chunker shear, and I do not like it because, as we were talking about teeth catching, that happened immediately when I got that shear. And now I just say, well, I'm using it then. And it's a curved chunker, which is very hard to do because they have to bend it after they make it, and that's where the problems come in. So I would always stay clear of curved blending shears, okay? They haven't perfected that quite so much yet, really. So I would stay away from that. All right, guys, I think I have answered all the questions, and you brought some great questions to the grooming table. I am going to do something special for you in 2 weeks. It's going to be Halloween, right? We're going to have a little fun with that, okay? So, hey, I don't know who you're going to see when you come here in 2 weeks, live from the grooming table. I don't even know what the date of that's going to be. What is the date in 2 weeks? I didn't even look. I'm going to be meeting with my members in a couple weeks too in November, guys. So if you're not a channel member and you would like to become one, you got to hit the join button. It's $4.99 a month, and we do lessons together on Zoom. And you always get PDFs to print out so that you're creating your own Go Groomer notebook, all my secrets to pet grooming. The memberships here are highly worth it. You guys get a lot for your memberships. So if you're not a member, you might want to consider being one. But I was just looking for the date because I want you guys to mark it on your calendar when we're getting together next live from the grooming table. Here we go. The next live from the grooming table is going to be November 6th, which is a Monday, at 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be right after Halloween. No worries though. We'll catch up on Halloween. Okay, so until then, thank you for coming here tonight. Keep doing what you're doing. You're here to get the advice you need, and I love that you're doing that, because that means you want to do right by your pets and you want to do a good job. You want to do a professional job, and that's why we share these secrets here. So you all deserve a pat on the back for that, because you're doing this for your pet. You're trying to be better for your pet, and that's awesome. And I know they're worth it. You don't have to tell me. Now, I am going to throw down the Farmer's Dog Super Bowl commercial. As you know, I am a pro partner with them. I am in their program, partner program. I can offer you a 100% free trial box of the Farmer's Dog for your pets, and I highly recommend it. Fresh food is the way to go. Just go look it up. Go look up the benefits of fresh food for your dog. It's amazing, it's immense. But I can offer you a free box of that, and I would love to do that if you just want to try it. So there's a link for that in the description below, and get your tissues out, because here come the tears. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Well, I'll see you in 2 weeks. I will. But maybe somebody else too, or somebody you weren't expecting. Okay, I'll see you then. I love you. Happy Halloween, because it'll be past, but we're going to celebrate it.